All right, guys, number 13. I would come in this way, but I have 50,000 cards I just purchased right here, so I couldn't really make an entrance this way. Always buying. Now I am always selling too. So, if you're wondering, sorry, the auctions end last night. 11 auctions. Total, if you just look at how much they sold for just a hair over $6,000. Pretty neat. My goal in the video when I made it on Tuesday, I was hoping to get 8,000. And when I did some calculations in my head, I kind of was picturing 25 chippers, and there's 20 chippers. So I might have overestimated a little bit, but I am very happy with the results. And I made some thoughts about the Acunas, selling for about $130 to $140. They ended up going for pretty much exactly at $120. And there was one guy that got 12 of the Acunas right at $120.01 for each of the 12. So I think he had a number and he set with it. I love that. All right, so I'm gonna go over the numbers of how much I invested and how much they sold. So the profit that I made, so they sold for $6,000. It's not $6,000 profit, but it is after eBay fees and after I think about how much I invested at them between 5 and 8 months ago. The profit I made, $2,274.02. $2,274.02. That's my profit with 11 auction items that I put together in 8 months profit. $2,200 in profit after eBay fees, because be smart. You gotta have your margins. So I took 15% off as an estimated eBay fees. More like 13, but I put it at 15% just to be fair. And all the investments I made, I rounded up to the nearest 10. So it might be even more than that, but at least 2,200 profit. All right, so starting at the Chipper Jones. I mentioned that I spent about $1,000. So I was spending about, it was like $40 a card times 25 cards, I thought, so I did 1,000 there. Ended up being, when I look back at my receipts when I bought them, it was about $43 a card times 20. So I had invested $860 in 20 PSA 10 Chipper Jones. Okay. My profit just with 20 Chipper Jones cards I bought was $1,331. So just on Chipper Jones, I made $1,331. Okay? That's where I stuck to that price, and I only bought until that. I guess I could have had a higher price there, and I would have made more profit. But I made $1,331 just on Chipper Jones. So here's the 4 score. Sold for under $100 each, so about $90 each. And if you look at ended auctions, if you search for some of these keywords, you can see all of the ending listings of the ones that ended on Friday, yesterday, last night, and all my future listings as well. Here's 5 tops. That went for $822. So those sold for about $175 each. Some of the other chippers, we're just gonna talk about chipper. So I ran out of paper for the photo paper, so I had to go to the big paper. Here are my favorite ones. Look at eye appeal. Here are 4 Bowman rookies. They sold for about $130 to $140 each. 4 Upper Deck. This is where I kind of overestimated. They still sold for about $150 each. There was one odd sale, and I mentioned that they were going for $250 on Tuesday. That was really one odd sale. That was one of those auction houses, and those were definitely a premium. So maybe the person that bought the Michael Jordan wanted to pair it, kind of like wine and cheese, you know, pairing it well. I think he wanted to, on his mantle, put the 91 chipper and the 91 Jordan together. So I think he definitely overpaid on Monday night, was it? But I'm happy. Again, I invested, I don't know, it's like $30 to $40 on each one of these, so about 120 bucks in. So I might have overestimated on Tuesday, but man, I'm happy with the profit. And then the two classics that I spent about $15 to $20 each on, and the tops there, spent about 45. So I am very happy. Again, just with 20 PSA 10 chippers, I made $1,331. With Ronald Acuna's, again, it was the same guy that bought 12 out of my 14 Ronald Acuna's. And they all went for the same price because the guy had a price and he stuck with it. He was willing to pay $120 and almost a penny extra. Okay, so he was able to get all of these, and I did combined shipping. $5 for the first one, $1 each for the other one, so he paid $7. I ended up putting it in a medium flat rate box for $15. So I ate some of the money on the shipping charges, but paying more than I say the shipping is gonna be is perfectly fine. And putting extra bubble wrap on it is super important, because again, I don't want returns back. Now I've had probably 200 packages come to me in the last 2 months, and I haven't had one damaged card. I haven't had one card lost in the mail. So I feel like my bad experience that happened in June, where I had 3 out of 10 packages say it never came, I don't believe it. And the first response is, could you send me the tracking information? And I said, I lost the tracking information, I feel like an idiot. Then it kind of gave a reason for them to say, I never got it, I want a refund. Now my guess would be, I was scammed. My guess is that they came, they realized that I don't have proof they came, I can take advantage of them. I can get my money back and I get free cards. So after June, it took me a while to get back on eBay because I knew as a seller, I had to make sure that I had things organized. And I wanted to make sure that when I came back, I wanted to think about all the things that can go wrong, so which wouldn't dip into my margins. So I am ready to jump into this. I feel like I've learned some lessons, and I can work on improving those margins. So Acuna's, I invested $1,176 on the 14 Acuna's. So it ends up being about $75 to $80 each I paid. I paid $120 for the first one. The cheapest one I got was about $55. So on average, I paid about $80 each. $1,176 calculated, I added up, divided by 14. I made about $257 profit. After my 15% off sales, 15% eBay fees, I took those numbers and my profit for Acuna was 250 bucks. Fine with that. Do I wish these would have gone for a little more each? Sure. Would I made more probably 1 month from now? Yeah. Do I regret putting them on? No. I'm happy that they found a home, and I am happy that I can use this money for other things. And the last one, again, Soto is safer than Acuna in my eyes. These sold for $225 a piece. I paid $110 each. So I bought them on the off-season dip. And you'll notice that all of the BGS 9.5s, I did not buy any that didn't have subgrades. So you can see the corners, edges, it gives a subgrade for BGS. I didn't buy any of the Acunas and Sotos without the subgrades on there. For me, I love the subgrades. And you could see that the ones that didn't have subgrades went for a little cheaper. Because I just think if you're gonna go BGS, I think most people want the subgrades. Okay. So Soto's, just with 2 cards, actually made more money per card on average. I made $167 on Soto compared to $257 on Acuna's for 14 cards. And my last one was the Kobe Bryant's. And I was thinking in my head, I could get 1,500 to 2,000. I was thinking that I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I ended up getting 1,256. I'm happy with it because out of these 3 cards, I'll tell you where I got those 3 cards. So this one, the one that I predicted was about a PSA 6. I got that from my friend Nick, where I get a lot of collections and then the new cards that he gets in packs. I bought that from him for $150. I evaluated that about $150. And I'm always thinking, if I'm gonna pick up some raw cards that are high value, I have to think in my head, can I double it eventually? And as I bought it at $150, I knew it had some wear on it, but I knew at $150, you know, watching those Kobe raw cards go like this, but they're going up, I knew there was a time where I could sell it for $300. The second one, what I predicted was a PSA 8. I actually got this from a guy in Wisconsin that was looking to receive more capital for football card investments. So he's into Packers, Green Bay. Okay, so he wanted more capital for buying Packers and Patrick Mahomes. So he brought over 3 Giannis rookies, an autographed Giannis card, a Luka Optic, a Luka Prism, Dwayne Wade Topps Chrome, a Kobe. Really neat stuff. It was premium cards those are cards that have huge upside if they're Gem 10 or Gem 9 or Mint 9. So I got from him. And so if you think about the first card would sell for about $250. So these 2 I think are about $500 each. When the guy that bought this probably would have valued these 2 at $500 each, maybe this at $300, or like $250, $400, and $600. So overall, 1,256 I think is very fair. So my total investment, I would say, was about $550. My profit after eBay fees, about $518. $518 for the Cherokee Parks armpit hair card. So I'll take it. So when I add those lots together, profit of $2,274. Out of the 11 auctions, I had the 3 Acuna lots were all one person, and he paid right away. He was the first to pay, requested a new invoice to save money on shipping, but he paid right away. I had 5 other people pay right away within an hour, which was awesome. I had one pay this morning for the Kobe Bryant cards, and he lives in downtown Los Angeles, so that was cool. So it's good to see that it's going to probably a true Kobe Bryant fan. And same with one of the chipper lots is going to Atlanta, Georgia, and then one Savannah, Georgia. So that's always cool that they're going to the state that you think they would go to. All right. If I think of me packaging, so I think for me, for doing eBay lots, I like the Friday night end time. I'm never gonna put auctions ending during the day. So when I made a choice here, I did a 3-day auction on a Tuesday, so they would end around 7 o'clock on a Friday. Because I'm thinking, okay, I don't work Saturday and Sunday. If they pay, I can package it up Friday night, and I can go to the post office before noon on Saturday. And then if they pay after I go to there, then I can go back to Hy-Vee groceries, and they can take mail as well. So I was able to do that with the Kobe's because they paid a little bit later. So I made 2 stops to the post office or a grocery store to get those dropped off because I want to be on top of the game. I also mentioned that I decided to eat some of the money, which means that I'll pay more for shipping just to make sure it gets in their hands safe and quicker. So the medium flat rate box will get there in 2 days, but I know there's a lot of delays in tracking with the snowstorm in Texas. My brother had to stay in a hotel room for 5 days, so it's tough down there. watching the news, I know the last thing on people's mind is getting cards in the mail. But there's going to be a delay, which is fair. So when I looked at the other ones, they had the option of a 4 to 6 kind of thing, 3 to 5 days, and I decided to pay an extra $3 to make it more priority, and maybe they would get it a little earlier. So I decided to pay a little bit extra, so maybe they'll actually get it a little bit earlier, okay? And I'm fine paying extra for shipping to hopefully have customers that come back. All right. I think that's it. All right. So I don't know what my next eBay auctions are going to be. I didn't know I was going to sell the Jeters until that morning. So we'll see. That's the fun thing about cards. You wake up one morning, you look at the Sports Card Investor app, and then bingo bongo, you start selling. So again, when a card's hot, that's when you sell. Don't buy when it's hot. All right. I'm gonna make another video tonight. This is actually the collection that I bought Super Bowl Sunday, where I paid, I think, $500. So I took 20,000 cards that I bought, put them into a 3,200 count box here, and I'm gonna quickly just kind of show the cards I got. All right, guys, we'll see you in a few minutes. See you later.